She stands in the spotlight beside one of country music's most powerful figures. But Trisha Yearwood has always been more than just Garth Brooks' wife. For years, the world saw only the public persona, the stadium-filling superstar, the carefully crafted image of America's favorite country gentleman. But behind closed doors, away from the cameras and the carefully orchestrated press releases, Trisha has witnessed a different man entirely. Now, after decades of silence, she's revealing the truth about Garth Brooks, not the legend, but the husband, the father, the complex human being who shares her life. What she's exposing isn't scandal or betrayal, but something far more intimate. The reality of loving a man the world thinks it knows. To understand that truth requires understanding the woman who lived it, starting with her own remarkable journey. Trisha's early life and family roots. Patricia Lynn Yearwood was born in Monticello, Georgia, into a world where values ran deeper than ambition. Her father was a banker, her mother a schoolteacher, steady, grounded people who taught their daughter that character mattered more than celebrity. The Yearwood household wasn't defined by wealth or status, but by integrity, hard work, and the understanding that success meant nothing without substance. Trisha grew up watching her parents build a life through discipline and dedication, learning early that nothing worthwhile comes easily. Her mother's love of cooking became a language of care that Trisha would carry throughout her life, a way of nurturing that transcended words. Her father's quiet strength taught her that real power doesn't need to announce itself. These weren't lessons taught through lectures, but absorbed through daily example, woven into the fabric of who she would become. Monticello gave her roots that would hold firm through every storm that followed, a foundation of authenticity that no amount of fame could erode. But this foundation only set the stage for what came next. Her years in the military that would forge her character in ways few could imagine. Before Trisha Yearwood became a star, the military shaped her into a woman of discipline, grit, and unshakable focus. Serving in the U.S. Air Force taught her to push through exhaustion, to deliver excellence even when no one was watching, and to hold herself to standards higher than anyone else expected. This resilience became the backbone of her career when she entered the ruthless world of Nashville. Starting from the very bottom as a demo singer, she learned the unglamorous reality of recording sessions, honed her technical mastery, and earned respect the hard way, through consistency, humility, and relentless work. Her breakthrough came with "She's in Love with the Boy," a #1 hit that turned years of grinding into overnight fame. But success didn't shield her from personal heartbreak. 2 marriages crumbled under the pressures of career and emotional mismatch. Those quiet heartbreaks taught her what love was, and what it wasn't. Then came Garth Brooks. They met as colleagues, grew into close friends, and eventually discovered a deeper connection built on shared experience rather than infatuation. Their love story wasn't dramatic. It was steady, patient, and rooted in years of mutual respect. By the time they married in 2005, they weren't 2 rising artists trying to build a life. They were 2 seasoned souls who had learned enough heartbreak to recognize real love when it finally arrived. The truth about Garth Brooks, his real personality at home. The truth Trisha exposes about Garth Brooks isn't scandalous, it's revelatory in its ordinariness. At home, away from the spotlight. Garth isn't the larger-than-life entertainer who commands stadiums. He's quiet, introspective, often insecure about whether he's doing enough, being enough. He worries about his daughters, obsesses over whether he made the right career decisions, questions himself in ways that would shock fans who see only confidence and charisma on stage. Trisha reveals a man who does dishes, who gets anxious about social situations, who needs reassurance like anyone else. He's not the tireless superhuman that his work ethic suggests. He's someone who pushes through exhaustion and doubt, who battles the same demons of inadequacy that haunt most people. The public sees perfection. Trisha sees the struggle behind it. She's witnessed the panic attacks before major performances, the hours he spends agonizing over whether a song is good enough, the way he carries responsibility for hundreds of employees and their families. Garth at home is a man trying his best, failing sometimes, succeeding often, always questioning whether he's measuring up. Trisha's revelation isn't meant to diminish him, but to humanize him, to show that his achievements are even more impressive precisely because they come from someone as flawed and vulnerable as the rest of us. This complexity, this humanity, is what makes their marriage real. But that reality comes with unique challenges. Challenges of two superstars in one marriage. Most marriages navigate normal challenges: career stress, financial pressures, balancing household responsibilities. Trisha and Garth's marriage operates on an entirely different scale. Both have touring schedules that would exhaust people half their age. Both have recording commitments, business obligations, and public appearances that demand constant attention. When conflicts arise, they're not about who forgot to buy milk. They're about whether to postpone a multi-million-dollar tour or miss a daughter's important life event. The logistics alone would crush most relationships. Coordinating schedules when both partners are in constant demand requires military precision and constant compromise. There's also the ego factor that everyone assumes must be explosive. Two massive talents, two strong personalities, both accustomed to being the center of attention. The world expected fireworks, power struggles, competition. Instead, Trisha and Garth developed something more mature: genuine respect for each other's separate careers. They don't compete. They celebrate each other's successes as their own. When Garth retired for years to raise his daughters, Trisha didn't resent his ability to step away. She supported it. When Trisha pursued her cooking shows and other ventures, Garth didn't feel threatened by her expanding beyond music. The challenge isn't their egos, but the sheer complexity of maintaining intimacy when the world constantly demands pieces of both of them. Their solution isn't perfect, but it's intentional, maintaining fierce independence while building genuine partnership. Maintaining independence, key to their stability. The secret to Trisha and Garth's enduring marriage isn't fusion, it's independence. They learned from previous failed relationships that losing yourself in partnership guarantees eventual resentment. Trisha maintains her own career, her own projects, her own identity completely separate from being Garth Brooks's wife. Her cooking shows, her books, her business ventures. These aren't hobbies to fill time, but essential expressions of who she is beyond music. Garth respects this boundary absolutely, never expecting her to subordinate her ambitions to his schedule or needs. Similarly, Trisha doesn't demand that Garth's decisions revolve around her availability. They function as two complete individuals who choose daily to share their lives, rather than two halves desperately clinging to each other for wholeness. This independence manifests in practical ways: separate workspaces, time apart without guilt, support for individual pursuits even when it complicates logistics. They've rejected the romantic notion that true love means constant togetherness, recognizing instead that healthy love requires space to breathe, to grow, to remain interesting to each other. The stability in their marriage doesn't come from dependency, but from two strong people who don't need each other but want each other. A distinction that changes everything. This foundation of independence allows Garth to fully inhabit his roles as husband and father without losing himself. Garth as a husband and father. The man behind the legend. Trisha's most powerful revelation concerns Garth's devotion as a husband and father. When his daughters from his first marriage needed him, Garth made a decision that shocked the industry. He walked away from touring for years, turning down millions of dollars to be present for their childhoods. This wasn't a publicity stunt or temporary break. It was a complete withdrawal from the career that defined him. He coached their sports teams, attended their school functions, helped with homework, and prioritized their stability over his ambition. Trisha watched him navigate the painful complexities of co-parenting, witnessed his determination to be the father his daughters needed, even when it required sacrificing the career he loved. As a husband, Garth brings that same intentionality. He's not the distant, self-absorbed celebrity that his level of fame often produces. He's present in their marriage, emotionally available, willing to do the unglamorous work that relationships require. He listens when Trisha needs to talk, supports her ambitions even when they pull her away, and doesn't expect her to manage his emotional needs while suppressing her own. Trisha reveals a man capable of genuine partnership, someone who views marriage as a daily choice rather than a static commitment. He's not perfect. He gets absorbed in work, sometimes needs reminding to communicate, struggles with the balance that everyone struggles with. But he shows up, keeps trying, and never stops working to be better. This is the truth Trisha exposes. Garth Brooks, the legend, and Garth Brooks, the man, are different people, and the man is far more admirable than the carefully crafted public image ever suggested. The truth about Garth Brooks, as Trisha Yearwood reveals it, isn't shocking. It's beautifully ordinary. He's a man who achieved extraordinary success while remaining fundamentally human, flawed and vulnerable and constantly striving to be better. Their marriage works not because they're perfect, but because they're realistic, building their partnership on independence, mutual respect, and the understanding that love is a daily practice rather than a permanent state. Trisha's revelation challenges our celebrity-obsessed culture's tendency to elevate public figures beyond humanity, reminding us that the most impressive achievements often belong to people struggling with the same doubts and fears as everyone else. Garth's willingness to sacrifice career for family, his emotional availability, his respect for Trisha's independence, these aren't the qualities that fill stadiums, but they're the ones that build lasting love. In exposing the truth about her husband, Trisha has given the world something more valuable than gossip, a portrait of mature love between two complete people who choose each other every day, not out of need, but out of genuine appreciation for who the other person truly is,